Welcome, genius folks. Today we're going to be talking about how to find the percentage of a number. So today I got a question for us to solve, which is going to let us know how to find the percentage of a number. So let's read the question first. James started to mow lawns to make some extra money. He told his friend Jack he would pay him 30% of his income if he helped him mow some lawns. Okay. This month, James made $180. How much will Jack get paid? So basically, this question is asking, what's 30% of 180? Of 180, basically. That's what that question's basically asking us to find out. So you should not get confused by this off over here. It basically means multiply. So basically it's saying 30% multiplied by 180. So there's two ways to solve this. First, we're going to go over the fraction form. So we would put 30% over 100% because 100% is the total thing. And 100% is basically 180 because that's the total. And we're trying to figure out 30% of it. So we're going to multiply that by 180. Since we're putting it in fraction form, we'll just put a 1 under 180 because 180 over 1 is equal to 180. So first we're going to do this. Okay, 30 times 180 is 5. Oh God, this is okay. It's 5,400, and 100 times 1 is 100. So there we go. Now, if you want to, now we just divide this. We gotta simplify it. It might look like that's not the right answer, but it's because we haven't fully simplified it yet. After we simplify it, we'll actually see the correct answer. So basically, 5,400 divided by 100, which is equal to 54. And so basically 30% of 180 is equal to 54. So he's going to pay Jack $54. Now we're going to look at the decimal way of finding this out. Okay, so basically, if you know 30% equals 0.3, basically, because 100% equals 1. 100% equals 1. So 30% would equal 0.3. Now remember, if someone says 3%, don't think it's 0.3, it's 0.03. Because I used to get confused out of that. Just don't get confused of that. Okay, now 0.3 is basically the decimal form of 30%. Now what we could do is 0.3 times 180. When you do that, you get 54. This is my way of doing it. It's easier than doing it the fraction way because it's just fraction way just does have more steps to it. I think the decimal way is much easier, so I prefer doing the decimal way. Now we're going to go look at another question. Okay, so now we have another question which says Rachel had a lot of candy and she wanted to give some of that candy to her best friend Jackie. Rachel has 200 pieces of candy and wants to give 40% of candy to Jackie. How much candy will Rachel give to Jackie? So basically what this question is asking us to do is it's asking us to find 40% of 200. We know that this of means multiply. So basically 40% multiplied by 200. And we're going to do it in the fraction form first. 40 over 100, of course, multiplied by 200 over 1, which equals 8,000, of course. And then over 100, because 100 times 1 is 100. And we divide 8,000 divided by 100, which gives us 80. So basically, Jackie will receive 80 pieces of candy. Now, let's look at this. How much candy will Rachel give to Jackie? Okay, well, we're going to look at the decimal form. I don't know why I read the question. 40% equals 0.42, so 0.4 multiplied by 200 gives us 80 either way, again, I like to do it in the decimal way better because it's much easier. I recommend you guys do it in the decimal way. I really never basically use the fraction way unless I have to, but unless someone tells me that that's the only way I could use, yeah, I use the decimal form. So basically 80 pieces of candy is how much Jackie will receive from Rachel. That's 40% of 200. So just keep in mind that sometimes there can be more than 100%. Let's just say there could be 150%. Okay, let's just make up a question right now. Let's just say there's a school that had 400 students last year, and now 120%. So basically, that means 120% of 400, which is also equal to 100 multiplied by 400, 100% multiplied by 400. And now let's look at it in the decimal form. 1.2 is basically this. If we say 100%, it would equal 400 because that's 100% equals 400 because that's how much last year was. Now they have a 20% extra amount of students. So we know that 20% equals 0.2. So 100 plus 0.2 equals 100% plus 20% equals 120, which is 1.2 because 100 equals 1 and 20 equals 0.2. So we got 1.2% there. Now we multiply that by 400 students. Now if we multiply that by 400, we get, well, we of course know 400 times 1 is 400, so it's of course going to be more than 400. I'll just show you guys how to do this. Okay, we would just do that. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0 again, 2 times 4 is 8, 1, 0. And we're gonna just put a smiley face here. I don't know why someone taught me to do that. Okay, 1 times 0 again is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Now we're gonna add these. So 0, 0, 8, 4. 4,800. So 4,800. Now we're gonna actually have to move one place there because we have to do that. So we would have 480. So 1.2 times 400. Oh my god, my handwriting is so bad. Okay, it's okay though. 480 students. So basically we have 480 students this year. Now let's look at the same example but with 500 students last year and 500 students. Actually, let's do this somewhere different. 500 students last year. So if there's 500 students last year and now it's 1.2, basically now there's 120%. Well, we're gonna do 1.2 times 500. Let's actually do that manually. You will know 500 times 1.2, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is again 0, 10. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5. Now we have 0, 0, 0, and 6. And we move one place to the left over here because there's one place. And then we get 600. Oops, okay. Now we get 600. So 1.2 times 500 is 600. So this year there's 600 students in the school. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something new today. And stay tuned.